Hey, so yesterday I went to a steakhouse. Pretty expensive one actually. It's called Morton's Steakhouse in downtown San Francisco. They have probably the best steak I've ever tasted in my, recent steak eating expeditions, which is actually not that much. I'm not really a big meat eater. I'm not a vegetarian, but I don't particularly love meat. I don't particularly even like meat, but I do eat it. I'm not like, no meat at all. Sometimes I have like chili verde pork in my burritos, which is I guess like, it's not really marinated, but it's sort of soaked in a chili sauce, and it's usually kind of greenish colored. Other kinds of meats I might eat are like, well, any kind of meat really. I prefer pork, but I can eat some kinds of beef, some kinds of chicken, just not particularly fond of it. So what I wanted to get to today is that steak is sort of like this expensive dinner quite often. There's like Sizzlers and such, which are like, typical steak restaurants, but then there's like high-end steak restaurants. And Morton's happens to be one of those. Single cut filet mignon, I think they called it, is 8 ounces, I think. So it's, it's small, I mean, but still it'll fill you up a little bit. It is pure meat after all. And that is, I think, $44. And they have the double cut, which is only like $5 more. I'm pretty sure it was like $49. And that's for, I believe, 16 ounces. But the presentation is what got to me. It was like very plain. It was just the steak. And I ordered mine butterflied because filet mignon is real thick. And I don't really like raw meats, especially raw fish. So I have it medium butterflied. But like I said, I'm not a huge steak fan. Anyway, getting to the point, it just comes on a plate with, a juicy sort of a bottom of the plate. So the bottom of the plate is just covered in sort of a thin juice, but it's not really a sauce, it's just sort of waterish, but with a slight color. Probably the meat juices. And then the steak and like one leaf. So it's just basically a white plate, steak, bit of water, one leaf. And it's $44 for 8 ounces. It's like, and then people go there and they dress up in like these, sometimes even suits, but at least, dress shirts, ties. I mean, Morton's actually doesn't seem to mind too much, even if you go casually. Like I went in a sort of just a black sweatshirt, t-shirt, jeans, not like a workout type clothing, but just casual. And they didn't even say anything about it at all. But the thing is that that restaurant sort of had an atmosphere that was almost automatic, like the dress code wasn't required, but a lot of people did it anyway. And it was it's a steakhouse, their main dish is steak. They also have lobster, but it's mainly steak. They have some soups and some desserts that are, yes, definitely better than you would find in a typical lower end restaurant, with a few exceptions. But it was pretty good, but the steak is just steak, and that is the main course for almost everybody that goes there. And then there's the opposite end of the spectrum, which is a type of food that is very expensive and very casual, yet it is presented very artistically, and that is, of course, sushi. And sushi is actually, it's rice with fish, but definitely has presentation. First of all, any real properly trained Japanese chef will prepare sushi. Even the smallest order will always come in twos. They never serve one piece at a time. So if they do, then they were not properly trained sushi chefs. So there's a bit of trivia for you. Anyway, usually you would go to a sushi restaurant, you'd order, unless you were at the bar, you would order, say, 10, 20 pieces, something in the range. And it would come usually in a big square circle plate, very neatly organized, with the horseradish wasabi on one side and some of the ginger, which we call shoga, and the pink flaky things that have a really strong taste that sort of clear the taste buds. And then of course a little plate for the soy sauce, and it's all, usually will have some parsley or something, a little bit of decoration. It's very neatly done, colors are arranged, the sushi's arranged in such a way that it's very pretty. And then you get this steak restaurant, boom, steak. Mind you, very good steak, but I just really feel like it's lacking in presentation. If you go to any other restaurant with that sort of a price range, like I go to another place sometimes called Chapeau, on Clement in San Francisco, if you're familiar. It's on 2nd Avenue, for those of you curious. And it's really good French food, you know, higher price range, and the food is excellent, but you could really tell they also spend a lot of time on the presentation. And so when it comes out, it's like, wow, it's a work of art, you know? And then I'm getting back to this, but boom, steak, white plate, 1 green leaf, some watery steak juice. What's up with that?